Definition narrative text. Narrative texts are texts that are a series of events in sequence and are connected to each other. Social function narrative text. The function of a narrative text is to tell a story and entertain and interest the reader. Structure narrative text. 1. Orientation is the opening paragraph of the text that contains the introduction of the case, time, and place in the story. 2. Complication are the emergence of conflict in the story until the conflict peaked. 3. The resolution contains a solution to a conflict in the story or process of solving the problem. 4. Reorientation is a moral message or mandate from the story conveyed. Language features of narrative text using past tense, adverbs of time, time conjunction, specific character, and action verbs. Genre of narrative text. Text is fairy tale. Example narrative text. Check out our dubbing of the fairy tale Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Once upon a time, in that kingdom, there was a queen who was doing needlework. Unfortunately, she broke her finger, and 3 drops of blood fell on the white snow.
I wish I could have 10 fingers with skin as white as snow, lips as red as blood, and hair as black as bone.
Soon after that, as she wished, she gave birth to a baby girl having skin as white as snow, lips as red as blood, and hair as black as a bone. That's why she named her Snow White. Sadly, the queen passed away right after having her child. She told the king to take good care of their daughter before she died.
Your Majesty, I am afraid that I couldn't live any longer. Please take good care of our Snow White.
1 year later, the king married a new wife to have a person to share his ups and downs and look after Snow White. Therefore, she had a stepmother. The new queen got a magical mirror, which could answer every question on earth.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, what thy virus on time out?
Queen, you are the most beautiful person in the world.
Everything just happened in the way she expected, but there was a problem that got on her nerves. The more Snow White grew up, the more beautiful she was.
Oh, Snow White is getting more and more beautiful. Just like that. One day she will be competing than me.
The day Snow White turned 17, the queen went to her room and asked her mirror again.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, what thy virus on time out?
You, my queen, are fair, it is true. But Snow White is even fairer than you.
The queen flew into a jealous rage after hearing these words. She had planned to kill the poor Snow White.
Who know on, in this world could be prettier than me. I thought I will suffer the same, but they is dead.
Since then, she got angry every time she saw Snow White. One day, she called a huntsman and ordered him to kill her.
Take Snow White into the woods and kill her for me. Don't forget to bring something back as proof.
Yes, my queen.
The hunter obeyed and took Snow White into the woods.
Forgive me, princess. The queen forced me to kill you. I have no choice.
I beg you,
Please, don't do that. I didn't know do anything wrong. Why does my stepmother want to kill me? Oh, please spare my life.
Seeing her like that, the hunter found himself unable to kill the girl.
Princess, you should go far away and don't let the queen see you. I will have way to deceive her.
Snow White immediately thanked the hunter and ran away as quickly as possible into the woods. The hunter brought the queen the heart of a deer, which made her thought that Snow White had been already dead.
Ha 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 ha, great from now. I will be the most beautiful woman in the world.
Snow White tried to run as far as possible. Just as evening was about to fall and she was too exhausted, she saw a little house ahead.
How far have I run? It's already dark. Fortunately, there is a house there. Maybe I should ask for a raise.
She knocked off the door for a while but no one replied. Having no choice, she opened the door and went inside. Inside the house, Snow White was surprised that everything was so small. There was a little table with 7 chairs and 7 plates with little food. Because she was so hungry, Snow White ate some food off each plate. Afterward, because she was so tired, she lay down on one of the little beds and fell asleep. It turned out that the owners of the house were the 7 dwarfs who mined for gold in the mountain from dawn to dusk. As soon as they arrived home, they were astonished that everything wasn't in the same order as they had left it. It seemed that someone had eaten some of their food.
How ate all of my food? The stuff inside our house were also untidy.
They kept going to the bedroom and saw Snow White lying on one of the beds.
How are you? Why are you sleeping on my bed?
Hearing that, Snow White woke up. She was surprised at the 7 dwarfs' appearance. She apologized to them and told them her story.
So, this house belongs to you all? I'm so sorry that I entered the house without permission. I had been running away from the one who wanted to kill me. I was too exhausted when stumbling upon your house because of calling for a while with you and no answer. I took a risk to come inside and ask some of you forgive me, please.
What a beautiful, beautiful girl. How could someone want to kill little girl I like her?
Snow White told all his stories to the dwarfs.
That's all what happened. I don't know what to do you anymore. What do you mean letting me live here for a while?
Alright, since we have to go out for work all the day and then have time to clean the house. You can stay here to clean the house and prepare food before we're back. Is it okay, my brother? Yes, of course.
About the Curl Queen, she always bore in mind that Snow White was dead. She stepped in front of her mirror and said,
Mirror, mirror on the wall, what thy virus on time out?
You, my queen, are fair, it is true. But Snow White is even fairer than you.
You damn hunter, how dare you destroy my order? You have to pay for it.
The queen was extremely angry. He put the hunter in jail. She was determined to find and kill Snow White by herself. Since that night, Snow White lived with the 7 dwarfs. She cleaned the house and had the meals ready for them before they went home.
Snow White, stay alert when you're at home. The cruel queen will probably come here. So don't let strangers enter the house and don't trust anyone.
Yes, thanks for your advice.
The queen disguised herself as an old peasant woman, traveled to the 7 dwarf house and stood by the window.
Can Girl been picking apples in the woods all day? No, I feel so tired and exhausted. Could you let me go inside to rest and drink some water?
Yes, let me get you some water to drink. Sign, this house doesn't belong to me. I can let two strangers go inside.
How courteous, but I will never let you go today. It's okay. It's good of you to stay alert in this wood. I can eat this apple to quench my thirst. Do you want to try some?
Thank you, but I'm not hungry.
Don't worry, I'm just a poor old woman. If you think that I trick you, I will eat twice for you to see. Instead, I will be fair, said if you don't eat it.
The apple had been so artfully made that only the one half was poisoned. The peddler woman was eating the yellow part and gave the rest to Snow White. Seeing the woman like that, she took the apple and ate it. She barely had a bite in her mouth, then fell to the ground dead. When the queen made sure that she had already been dead, she came back to the palace. That night, when she reached the palace, she asked the mirror one more time to confirm that her plan had been successful.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, what thy virus on time out?
Queen, you are the most beautiful person in the world.
Haha, yes, that's it.
That evening, when his 7 dwarfs got home, they found Snow White lying there. They tried everything to wake her up in vain. She still lay there as if she had fallen asleep. They mourned for her. They made her a transparent glass coffin. Then they put her inside it.
For Snow White, it must be the grand war hunger. Snow White, we sure to take revenge for you one day.
The strange thing is, though staying inside the coffin for so long, she still looked as fresh as a living person who was sleeping. Her skin was as white as snow, her lips were still as red as blood, and her hair was still as black as ebony. Even the animals came and mourned Snow White. The squirrels came first, then the sparrow followed them, and the rabbits were the last ones to come. One day, there was a prince entering the woods. As it was too late, he had to seek shelter for the night in the 7 dwarfs' house.
Hey man, as I finished hunting too late and there was no shelter here, can I stay here tonight?
Okay, if you don't mean the inconvenience of our house, you can stay here.
Going inside and seeing the glass coffin, he knew that he fell in love in Snow White at first sight. He said to the dwarf that he wanted to take her to his palace.
Could you let me take this glass muffin and the princess to my palace? And please take this money as a thank you for taking care of her up to now.
Of course, the 7 dwarfs didn't accept the proposal. They loved Snow White not for money.
Never, Snow White is not I good to be pushed ahead.
Not giving up, the prince thought for a while and came up with an idea.
Alright, I confess that I fell in love with Snow White at the first time I saw her. Please help me. Let me take her to my palace where the healthcare condition is better. Then, I will find the best doctor to cure her. I also welcome you all anytime you want to come and visit her.
Hearing the Prince Hanu's unreasonable words, the 7 dwarfs agreed to let him take Snow White to the palace. The next morning, the prince told his guards to carry the coffin, but suddenly they stumbled on the plant's roots, and this dislodged from Snow White through the piece of the poisoned apple.
Where am I? Who are you?
Snow White, you have awoken. That's great. Keep calm. I will tell you everything.
Then he reported what had just happened for Snow White.
Maybe I've known who did that to you. When you go back to the palace with me and become my wife, I promise never let anyone harm you again.
Snow White was so happy for the prince's love. She also believed in his promise to protect her. Therefore, she agreed with his proposal and then they come back together, considering the wedding day. About the cruel queen. One day, she suddenly received a wedding invitation from the prince in a neighboring country.
How strange. Why do you try? Give me time. Will I don't get acquainted? Right, and not a neighboring country.
But she doesn't care about it that much. Since the day Snow White died, she had been so content that she asked the mirror every single night.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, what thy virus on time out?
You, my queen, are fair, it is true. But the princess is even fairer than you.
Princess? What's that princess? Or that is the girl what time pride of the neighboring country is about to marry? Alright, I got a goosey woosey eyes.
Snow White and the Prince's wedding was held with great splendor and majesty in the palace. They got some money best wishes from everyone. When she arrived at the wedding ceremony and caught the sight of Snow White, the queen went crazy. She thought that it was Snow White injustice coming to revenge.
Unbelievable, impossible, it's a ghost, help me, see as ghost.
After that, she ran away as quickly as possible to the astonishment of everyone. Since then, sometimes the seven dwarfs still saw the queen bewildering in the woods, and the prince and Snow White lived happily ever after.